I don't know if you have to do anything. Yeah, okay. Great. So we are recording. All right, so laying all the way down, getting comfortable here, maybe having the bolster behind your back, lifting up your head and your heart. You can use the block as a pillow if you need a little more space. Arms down by your sides, legs extended out or knees bent. Just allowing the body to start to open up. You can allow the palms to be facing up, or you can place your left hand over your heart, right hand over your belly. You start to breathe into your belly. A lot of times we just breathe into the chest and it's pretty shallow. So intentionally deepening our breath will help us get into that rest and digest state, that relaxation and healing. Placing your hands on your body allows you to feel how your breath changes your body. You know, internally it's doing the work, but to feel it is also kind of cool. So as you inhale, breathing in through your nose, you're going to start to send the air all the way down into the belly. And then allow it to fill up all the way up through the rib cage, through the chest, into the throat. And then exhale, sighing out the nose or breathing out the nose. Allowing everything to fall back in. Start to count to 4 as you inhale. We'll do it together. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can continue this on your own. Maybe starting to activate the back of the throat muscles as you exhale by Ujjayi breathing, stimulating the vagus nerve here. If you want a little more stimulation to that nerve, you can start to hum as you exhale. Or you can even sound out ooh, like EW. So breathing in through the nose. And then exhale, ooh. Nobody can hear you, I promise. Slowly open the eyes. Remove any prop. Coming back down to your back. We're going to start to bend your right knee. Grab the knee or the shin. Allow it to open up to the right. And then draw it in a little bit more so that knee is reaching for the armpit. Really compressing your right side, all those internal organs. And then we're lengthening the left side, giving more space, sending that breath into the belly. Good. Exhale, release the right leg all the way down. And now inhale, lift that left knee, grab a hold of the knee or your shin. Allow the knee to come out to the left around your rib cage and then draw it up. Lengthening that right leg out. Breathing into your belly. Exhale, lower the left leg all the way down. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Full body stretch, pointing through your toes. You can interlace your fingers. Taking a couple breath cycles here, breathing in and out. Next, exhale, hands down by your sides, bend your knees. You're gonna lift the hips high and then drop them toward your heels just to find the space in your spine. And now we'll start to windshield wiper the legs to the right and left. Once you're on the left side, allow the knees to fall over to the left, keeping both shoulder blades on your mat. Knees can be staggered here. If you want a little bit more, and you can keep both shoulder blades on the mat, see if you can stack your knees. still may be staggered a little bit, but they're closer together now. Breathing into the twist. Maybe walk your arms up out into that T. Noticing where you're holding on. And try to fully relax. Next, inhale, start to bring the knees up high, back to center. Exhale, allow them to fall over to the right. You may want to lower your hands back down, getting those shoulder blades on the mat. Playing around with stacking the knees. And maybe move your arms back up into that T. Every little muscle is fully relaxed. We're not holding on anywhere. And if you feel a certain area pulling more than another, just send your breath there. Imagine breathing into that space, opening it up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, I'm going to lift the knees up high through center. Exhale, we're going to let them fall over to the left. And now bring your top hand, that right arm, and place it on top of your left arm. So we're rolling your entire side body to the left. So on our left side, palms are on top of each other, knees are stacked. Right shoulder is lifted. On an inhale, we're going to open up a book with our arms, allowing that right arm to come all the way up and then back behind you. Maybe it touches the ground. Drawing that shoulder blade closer to the mat. And then inhale, we're going to close the book, palms coming back together. Breathing here. So inhale, we're going to reach up. Coming all the way back down with that right arm. And I'm sorry, on an exhale, you're going to close. Right arm comes up and over. Inhale, right arm reaches up, extending back into that open book or T. You can start to look over your right hand as well. Exhale, bring it back. Palms touch. Inhale, up and over. Knees stay where they're at. Exhale, closing your book. Good. Now we're going to roll back to center so we can do the other side. So shifting those hips back. May have to move a prop. So now we're going to roll to the right. Coming onto that right shoulder, right hip, knees stacked. Extend the arms out. Left shoulder is lifted. On an inhale, we're going to lift the left arm. Bring it all the way behind you. Start to turn your head, looking over your fingers. Exhale, closing. Palms come to touch. Doing this with your breath. Just working on our mobility here, opening up the thoracic spine. Inhale, left arm comes up and over. Adds a little something extra when you can look over those fingers. Opening up the chest. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale up. On your next one, inhale up and over. Allow that left hand to come all the way down. And then see if you can draw the shoulder blade down a little bit more as you press into the right hand as well. Allowing to get deeper into that twist. Exhale, coming back together. Good. Rolling back to center. Bringing your knees to your chest now. Hooking under the knees, or you can hook on top. Just trying to compress all those internal organs at once while opening up the posterior chain, glutes, hips. Breathing into your belly here. You can shift the weight side to side. Little movements. Maybe see if you can wrap yourself up into a smaller ball, giving yourself a tight little squeeze. Lifting the chin up. Relaxing your head. Now grabbing the knees if you're not already there. We're going to start to rock side to side. Start to bring your feet up toward the ceiling. So the soles of the feet are facing the ceiling, and then put a bend in the knees. We're going to come into happy baby. So you can reach for your ankles or even your thighs. If you're feeling pretty good, you want to go a little deeper, you can reach for the big toes or the edges of the feet. Allowing the legs and the hips to open. The knees start to lower closer to the mat. Ankles are stacked over your knees. And then eventually that tailbone starts to roll back down. If it's lifted, see if you can reach it down to the mat. Maybe rocking a little side to side. Maybe changing up the grip if you had the big toes, going to the edges of the feet. Just giving your body a little time to release. Slowly release whatever you're holding on to, your feet, your ankles, hamstrings. Bring your feet down to the mat. Heel toe them out so your feet are about the width of your mat. And allow your knees to start to fall in. So feet are wide. If you don't really feel this, you can walk your feet out a little bit more. And then the knees are falling in toward each other. And you can stay like this or do little tailbone tucks. So we're thinking of the pelvis, rotating it up. So it's a little movement here, but you'll feel it in the thighs, the hip flexors. So you're just thinking of the hip bones rocking back as that tailbone lifts and then release. Little tucks. Good. Heel toe your feet back on your mat. Grab both of your blocks. We're going to come into reclined butterfly. So you don't have to use the blocks, but sometimes it feels nice to help the knees be propped up. So you're going to bring your feet together like a butterfly pose, but we're laying all the way back. Blocks can go under the knees or not, up to you. You can place your hands down by your sides, or again, left hand to heart, right hand to belly. Feel that breath move and change your body. So this one can be kind of intense. You don't have the blocks. So maybe setting an intention here for class. Keep your mind busy with repeating a phrase or a word to yourself that resonates with you right now. If your mind starts to wander, just bring it back to your mat. Back to the breath. or back to your intention. All right, nice and slow. Bring the fingertips to the thighs. We're going to slowly bring the legs together. Start to bring your knees in. Little hug again, rocking side to side. And then allow the knees to fall to one side. Pressing over here, just taking a moment. And then pressing up into Sukhasana, easy seat. Finding those sit bones. Relaxing the belly. Tucking the chin in a little bit. Inhale, you're going to reach the arms up. Exhale, right hand down, left arm up and over. Keeping the chest lifted, both sit bones rooted. You can walk the hand out a little bit more or drop down to the forearm if you want a deeper stretch. Good. Inhale, you're going to reach both hands up. Rib cage expands. Exhale, other side. Left hand reaches down, right arm comes up and over. Relaxing the right hip flexor, the right leg. It can get kind of tight here and start to pull up. So really just trying to root down through the knee, the sit bone. Breathing into the belly. Opening up the chest. Good. Exhale, you're going to come all the way back up. And then we'll meet in our tabletop. So walking over to the hands and knees. Hips over knees, shoulders over wrists. Untuck the toes here. Inhale, belly drops, gaze and tailbone lifts. Keeping the arms nice and straight. Exhale, rounding in the spine, chin to chest. Moving with your breath, just creating some movement here for our spine. Inhale, belly drops, gaze and tailbone lift. Exhale, we're going to round up like a cat. And if you want to add hip circles, feel free to do that. Hip side to side. Anything that feels good to you that you need, you can take. And when you're done with that, we're going to come all the way down onto your belly. Keeping your hands underneath your shoulders. Elbows pointing back toward your feet. Inhale, baby cobra, lifting the chest. Rolling the shoulders down, away from the ears. Maybe even crunching those shoulder blades toward each other to activate and lift the heart a little bit more. Back muscles are fired up here. Exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, same thing, baby cobra. Engaging the shoulder blades toward each other to lift a little bit higher. And then maybe start to lift your hands off the mat. We're floating them up. Exhale, come all the way down. Next inhale, we're going to come into cobra. So coming all the way up, you can put a little bend in the elbows if this is too intense for the low back. Relaxing the glutes here. Imagining the heart being lifted up, breathing into the belly. Shoulders away from the ears. Good. Exhale, come all the way down. That one can be kind of intense, especially in the morning. Let's bring your arms in front of you. So the forearms are making an 11 shape. So this is Sphinx pose. And then your fingers are spread wide. Shoulders away from the ears, neck is long. Actively pressing into those elbows into the ground. And then start to lift your heart forward as you pull back with your hands. It's almost like a worm where you're trying to move the body forward with your forearms. They'll slide back just a bit and breathe. Lower body is totally relaxed. Exhale, gonna come down. You can move the arms, elbows out to the side. And then press into your hands. We're gonna press back into child's pose, sending the hips back. Big toes come to touch, knees wide. And then extending those arms forward, forehead to the mat. Rounding out that low back. If that is a little much for you, you can put a bolster, towel, or blanket behind your knees. Keeping the hips elevated a little bit here with that prop. Or if you don't have a prop or it doesn't do enough, we're just going to keep your hips up and then walk your arms down. So it's like puppy pose. So a couple different variations. Do what one feels best for you. Breathing into your child's pose. Next inhale, you're going to come forward into that tabletop. Have your blocks nearby. And then start to bring your right foot in between your hands. Back knee is on the mat. Shifting that weight forward. Bending and straightening into the front leg. And now pulling your hips back. So if you have your blocks, you can place your hands on your blocks. And we're just shifting the weight forward and back, getting into that hip flexor again. Front knee bends and then extends. All right, so we're coming into our lizard pose. So both hands are going to go inside your foot. Back knee is down. You can tuck your toes or untuck them, kind of up to you. And then for your hands, they can either stay pressing into the blocks, or you can start to drop down to the forearms. You don't have to use your blocks here, but sometimes it feels nice. Give us a little bit more support. So wherever you are, we're thinking of the right knee, trying to pull it back in line with your body toward the shoulder. A lot of times in lizard pose, it likes to splay out to the right. So we're gonna connect with that leg, draw it in, engage the core, and breathe. Opening up that left hip flexor. Head slowly coming up and out. We're going to shift the hips back. You can bring that right hand on the other side of your foot. Allow the toes to start to pull up. Inhale, we're going to lift with the upper body, trying to lengthen out that spine. Exhale, folding over the right shin. Toes pulling up toward you. Hands on blocks. Good. Slowly start to bend into the knee and then come back to your tabletop. You can shift the hips side to side. Notice the difference. And then when you're ready, we're going to do the other side. So step that left foot in between the blocks. Back knee is on the mat, toes untucked. Shifting the weight back and forth, straightening and bending the front knee. Good. Now keep that knee bent. Bring your left hand inside your foot. So both hands are inside that left foot for our lizard pose. So you can stay right here or maybe lower down to your forearms. Drawing that left knee in toward you. Engaging the core. Opening up the right hip flexor. Slowly pressing back into the palms if you're not already there. Moving your left hand outside the left foot. Exhale, send the hips back, half splits. Straightening that front leg, toes pull up. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, folding, hinging at the hips. Trying to take out some rounding in the spine here as you fold over the left shin. Inhale, slowly start to come back, bending into that knee. And then bring it back to a table pop. Moving your blocks. Finding your seat. Extending the legs out into a straddle. You can bring your blocks in front of you now. Maybe lift the hips. Shift forward, find the sit bones, sit nice and tall, heels pressing into the mat, toes pointing back to you. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, you're going to walk your hands out, down toward the center of your straddle. If you have your blocks, you can use them to help you keep you lifted. Or maybe you want to rest your forehead on the highest setting. So however you want to play around with your props, or you can just set them aside. You don't have to use them. Thinking of going a little bit deeper on your exhales here. So a deep stretch in the adductors, those inner thighs. Coming back to that intention. Maybe counting your inhales and exhales. Slowly walking your hands in. And then hands to the outside of your legs, gently bringing those legs back together, moving slow here. Give a little shake if you think that feels best. We're going to find the sit bones again. Seated forward fold is next, so the legs are together. Sitting tall. Exhale, we're going to start to walk your hands forward, walking that chest forward. Toes are pointing back to you. You can even engage the quads here. Trying to come forward before you allow the upper body to collapse and just fall down, fully relax. If you have your block, you can place it at the bottom of your feet. If you want something to reach for, or you can grab the big toes. Staying with your breath is important on this one because this one can be super tight, especially in the morning, as we're stretching the whole back side of the body. Trying to relax the neck, relax the shoulders. Inhale, inch your way up. Nice work. All right, so our next one is a fun one, but we have to be near a wall. So hopefully you guys have a wall somewhat nearby that you can get to. If you absolutely don't have a wall, we can lay all the way back and just try to bring your legs up and hold them here. But it is much nicer to kind of have that prop as the wall. So what you're going to do, legs up the wall, you're going to sit sideways next to your wall and then lay down. As you turn, sit bones are now facing the wall, and then your legs will go up. So they should feel pretty comfortable. You can extend the arms down by your sides. The feet can be wide, or if you want to bring them together, whatever feels best. And then allow the feet to just kind of naturally lay as they would. Same with the legs. So this is a great restorative pose, really good for digestion and just reverse blood flow. Our legs are not in this position. So that's kind of the whole point of yoga, just to open up our bodies and move them in new ways. So if you have no wall, again, just lift the legs up. You can even maybe place a block under the hips. Otherwise, we're at the wall. Nice and comfortable here. Start to bend your knees, walking your feet down the wall, and then rolling over to the side. Taking a breath here. And then pressing up. Finding your mat and laying down on your back. Bending the knees. We're just going to come into figure four kind of quickly, one on each side. So let's start with that right ankle, placing it on top of the left thigh. Right toes pointing back to the right knee. Start to reach around for that left hamstring so the foot will lift off the mat. Gently pulling the legs in as you keep that right knee pointed away from you. Good. Slowly release. And then bring the right foot down, left foot on top of the right thigh, left toes pointing back to the right knee, reaching around for your right hamstrings. Once you have that, gently bringing the legs closer to you as you draw that left knee away. Good. Bring the right foot down, left foot down, windshield wiper the legs. If there's anything else you would like to take it now. Otherwise, we can get right into our Shavasana final resting pose. Extending the legs down, arms down. Maybe you're removing any kind of ponytail so you're totally flat on your head, nice and comfortable. We're going to take a cleansing breath here. Breathing in through the nose, allowing the rib cage to pull apart, belly to rise. And then on your exhale, sighing out the mouth, letting everything go. Shavasana. Gently coming back to your breath and body. Moving fingers and toes. Reaching the arms overhead, full body stretch. Bending your knees, rolling to one side, taking a moment here to notice how you feel. And sending yourself some gratitude for making time for you today. When you're ready, pressing up into that seated position. Hands to heart center. Really relaxed, eyes closed. Coming back to your intention. Just carrying it with you throughout your day. Thank you for letting me guide you in your practice this morning. Namaste. Good work, everybody. A lot of hip work today. So make sure just to drink a lot of water and have a great day. And I hope to see you next week. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.